Well, here's front part of this 4-link done. I welded, there's a 1/2-inch piece down in here, goes at an angle. I've welded it all the way around there into the cross member, all the way in the back. Put plenty of weld in that. This actually looks really solid. I welded my bar up the right length. I still haven't got it mounted on the shaft back there. The original plan was to put another plate in here, but I don't know. This might be just overkilling the whole thing. That's a 1/2-inch bar there, and that's pretty much all just a pile of weld all the way around onto this lower brace. I can't see how much good another piece would do me. I suppose it would be a little stronger. But and that looks plenty strong as it is. I could probably put another little gusset or something right there. That would put more of the load into the top piece. That might be the way to go. Rather than trying to make another, doesn't have to be 2 bars like that. I think the reason there are 2 bars there is because, you know, it's 1/4 inch. But I think if I just go ahead and throw me another piece right in here, that'll put that load up on the top of the cross member rather than just down on the bottom, and it'll kind of give me a triangle for the weld, and just leave that alone rather than trying to make another one. Just kind of thinking about it. I think that's what I'm going to do. And then I'll weld it right here. I mean, it's riveted in really good, but nothing like a couple little spot welds on it to make it really strong. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to clean that area up and pound this piece down in here, because this looks like it'll bend a little, and just weld that in right there. I think that'll be plenty strong, and anything that I make here I have to do the same over here on this one, so It took a long time this morning trying to figure out how I was going to put this thing, but I finally got it where I wanted it. I got the bolts almost straight up and down here. Anything that they're not straight will be taken up here in the back. But I think that's what I'll do. I'm not going to really try to do anything more with this. Another plate would still only be just welded into this little 1/8 inch stuff here. And I think that welding it into this one would be much better. So that's what I'll do. I'll clean up that little area, weld it, and bring it back. Well, there I put that piece in there and glurped it good. I kept burning holes in this, so I just filled the whole thing up there, and I think we'll be good to go here. It looks plenty strong. Welded good in the bottom, back and back. I haven't welded it from the bottom yet, but and then I welded the this cross member here to the frame. I welded it here, came over this side, did the same thing. There's a good weld. I was able to get all the rust out of there. This one kind of splattered and popped. Can't get a good weld on dirty metal, but it's all in there, and I don't think I'm going to have to mess with it anymore. Now I know what to do. I can come over here and make this one, but before I do that, I'm going to go back here and weld this one into the rear end. I have to take that bar loose and floppy disk that thing. Not floppy disk. Well, gotta get all the rust off of it, and then I gotta mark the holes and drill the holes. I gotta put one plate on, weld it around on the inside, because once I put them together there's not any room to weld on the inside, maybe just a little bit on each side. But this will be good. These bars are perfectly parallel. They're the same length, so they should work fine. Well, after some chewing away with a plasma cutter, I was able to knock these 4 pieces out. I used one as a template and then just sawed back and forth on it. Plasma cutter is working okay. It's going through this 1/4 inch stuff pretty well. It's struggling. Well, it's not struggling, you just have to go slow, and I keep sticking the tip. But anyway, here's 4 pieces that are approximately the same. Looks like I made these two out of one and these 2 out of another. And I just guessed at how far I'd put it up in there when I was using it as a template. But what I'll do is put one in and mark it, put it on, and then tack it, and then I'll use a center finder punch to mark the hole parallel on the other one, and then drill them both, or you know, drill one and then duplicate it from there. So here we go. Now I show you a little trick here. You can put a 45 combination square on something, and you can get the bubble level, you know. Anyway, you get the bubble level, and then that'll give you a vertical. So it looks like I got 3/4 of an inch down in there, and up here get my bubble level. Oh, that's pretty good. And I got about 1/2 inch. So I don't have these bars parallel. And I just tacked them in. What I did do is clear that up a little. I had marked them before, but it didn't look right. So anyway, I'm gonna knock this off of here and get these bars parallel, and then I'll try tacking it again. Okay, I moved it over, I don't know, 1/2 inch. So I'm about 3/8 of an inch, maybe a little more. Up here, I'll level this, and it looks like I'm a little over 3/8. I guess I ought to measure it instead of just guessing. Well, that was it. I got down there and I measured them. They're both exactly 1/2 inch. And I got my bracket here. It's perfectly square. So square up and down. It's a square to that bar on the bottom. Yeah, perfectly parallel. I don't know how about the other parallelness vertical wise. Check it and see. Yeah. And it's like 1 degree. Big old welder on it. That's really bad. That's like 2 degrees. So I'm off 1 degree. Over 3 feet. That's hardly anything. Probably move this a few thousandths in a 3-inch travel. So now that's all done. I'm going to weld it on the inside now, once I put the other one in, it's going to be hard to weld on the inside. I can always weld it here easy enough on the outside. So I'll do my best to throw a decent bead in there. That's going to be one that's not seen, so watch, it'll be a real good weld job. Well, I just welded that bracket. Hey, Roxy, my little cat. She's a little skittish with a dog running around. But anyway, I got this in, and you just take a transfer punch. It's got a point on the end that fits your hole. Put it in there, give it a few whacks with a hammer, and that'll mark your bracket. I was just looking, it looks like this bracket's a little too big. I had two of the same kind. Well, we will see. I'll check out the others, see if one of these fits a little better. Well, there she blows. Welded good. I couldn't get this inside one too well. I got it on both sides, and I got it good on the back. But the first one's welded front and back. Got a pretty decent bead on the bar itself. Yeah, it's, you can tell there I've only got about half a turn before it starts getting tight. Of course, that's just a half-inch bolt I had. It's not going to stay. It's not even a good bolt. You can tell there's a little oil in that pipe, but it's in. It's strong. One half of the 4-link done. I got my other brackets here. I can take that line loose and finish cleaning that up. Now that I know how to make the brace over here, this shouldn't be too hard to do tomorrow. I know what I'm going to do, so probably 80% of the time today was going around the circle wondering how I was going to do it. But now I know. There it is. That bottom one is for sure not going to break. And with this one on top, I was kind of dragging my feet. I didn't want to buy the heim joints, but I'm glad I did, because this whole rear end and stuff in here now is, you know, massively good, super strong. My next step, I'll just clean up this rear frame here. Try to wire brush as much as I can out of it, and I've got some more steel. My friend Gary brought me a bunch more steel. It came out of an old mobile home as part of the frame, and so it's, oh, I don't know, 14 gauge or something. It's pretty thick, almost as thick as this frame is here. And my plasma cutter is cutting this 1/4 inch stuff pretty decently, so I shouldn't have any trouble at all cutting out some boxing plates for this. I mean, to get it boxed all the way, this back part, all of this in here by the mount, all the way up to where that cross member is. That's kind of one project. Take quite a bit of welding, but I'll do my practice back here on the back so the ugly won't be as obvious. But anyway, I'll make up this this other parallel ink tomorrow, and we should be good to go.